From sugar-obsessed Henry VIII to Charlemagne's innovative kitchen, medieval kings didn't just rule kingdoms, they revolutionized food. Their quest for new flavors, safety concerns, and desire to impress shaped cooking methods that we still use today. Henry VIII wasn't just famous for his 6 wives, he was also known for his massive sweet tooth. When sugar first arrived in Tudor England, it was super expensive and seen as a luxury only the ultra-wealthy could afford. Henry VIII took this fancy new ingredient and ran with it. His royal kitchen used sugar in pretty much everything, not just desserts, but meat dishes, sauces, and even medicines. The king's love for sugary treats was so intense that by the end of his life, he had serious dental problems and was quite overweight. But his sugar obsession did leave a lasting mark on English cooking. He ordered his chefs to create amazing sugar sculptures for feasts, and sweet preserves became a big deal in Tudor kitchens. Thanks to Henry's enthusiasm, sugar slowly became more common in English homes, though it would take another 200 years before regular people could afford it regularly. Medieval kings weren't just interested in spices for their flavor. These rare ingredients were like gold dust. They spent fortunes sending ships across dangerous seas to bring back pepper, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Venice got super rich controlling the spice trade from Asia, which made other European rulers jealous. Portugal's King Henry the Navigator was so determined to break Venice's monopoly that he funded major sailing expeditions down Africa's coast. These voyages helped Portugal find a new route to India, around Africa's tip. Spain joined the race too. Columbus actually bumped into America while trying to find a shortcut to Asia's spice markets. The competition got pretty heated, with countries fighting over trading posts and shipping routes. This royal obsession with spices ended up changing the world map, creating new trade routes and connecting Europe with distant cultures. Even today, many of our favorite spice combinations come from these medieval trading networks. Let's talk about how oranges became the ultimate status symbol in medieval Europe. When oranges first showed up in European courts, they were seen as almost magical, bright, colorful fruits that seemed to capture sunshine itself. Kings and queens went crazy for them, building special heated greenhouses called orangeries, just to grow these exotic fruits year-round. Louis XIV of France was particularly orange-obsessed, creating the most famous orangery at Versailles. These buildings weren't just fancy greenhouses. They were symbols of royal power, showing that monarchs could grow tropical fruits in cold European winters. The fruit became so linked to royalty that rich families would rent orange trees just for parties to look more important. Even the color orange became associated with wealth and power. These royal orangeries helped develop greenhouse technology that we still use today for growing all sorts of plants. Charlemagne wasn't just a powerful ruler, he was also a major foodie who changed how Europe ate. His royal farms became testing grounds for new foods and farming methods. He ordered his workers to plant a specific list of vegetables and herbs in every royal garden, including many plants we still eat today, like rosemary, sage, and fennel. The emperor also set up a smart system where recipes and growing tips were shared between his palaces across Europe. He was particularly interested in cheese making and had special rooms built just for aging different types of cheese. Charlemagne also made sure his cooks wrote down their recipes, which was pretty unusual for the time. This helped spread cooking knowledge throughout his huge empire. He even insisted on having fruit trees planted in every royal estate, which helped popularize apples and pears across Europe. Let's dive into the fascinating world of medieval royal drinks, where wine wasn't just wine, and mead was liquid gold. Kings had their own personal wine blenders who created special mixes just for them. These royal drinks were often spiced with exotic ingredients like cinnamon, honey, and rare herbs. The most popular royal drink was hippocras, a sweet spiced wine that kings would serve to show off their wealth. They also loved mead, made from fermented honey, and each royal court had secret recipes passed down through generations. Kings would carefully choose who got to drink which blend, serving the best stuff to important guests and keeping lower quality drinks for everyone else. Some rulers even had special tasters to check their drinks for poison, and many used special cups made of crystal or gold that supposedly changed color if the drink was poisoned. The fear of being poisoned led medieval kings to develop some pretty creative cooking methods. Royal kitchens had strict rules. Food tasters had to sample everything 15 minutes before the king ate, which meant dishes needed to stay warm longer. This led to the creation of special serving dishes with hidden compartments for hot stones. Chefs also started using strong spices and sauces, partly to mask any bitter poison taste. The position of food taster was actually a high-ranking job. Some even became trusted advisors since they literally put their lives on the line for the king daily. Kings would often have their food prepared in view of trusted guards, and ingredients were kept under lock and key. These safety measures helped develop new cooking techniques like slow cooking and sauce making that we still use today. The competition between medieval kings to throw the most impressive feasts led to some amazing developments in cooking. When one king hosted a spectacular banquet, others would push their chefs to create even more impressive dishes. This royal rivalry gave us some cooking techniques we still use today. For example, French kings popularized the practice of serving dishes in courses rather than all at once. Not to be outdone, English royalty developed elaborate subtleties, decorated dishes that looked like castles or animals. Italian princes hired specialized pastry chefs who created new types of dough that could be shaped into complex designs. These royal feasts also introduced the idea of pairing specific wines with certain foods, as kings wanted to show off their wine collections in the most impressive way possible. The competition even affected kitchen design. Royal kitchens grew larger and more organized to handle these elaborate meals. Richard II's cookbook, The Formulae of Cuisine, was a game-changer in medieval cooking. Written around 1390, it was one of the first recipe collections in English. The king gathered his master chefs to write down nearly 200 recipes, from basic broths to fancy party dishes. The book showed how to cook with new ingredients like sugar and exotic spices, which were super expensive back then. What made this cookbook special was that it mixed common English cooking with fancy foreign flavors. The recipes used ingredients like almonds, ginger, and even whale meat. The book also taught new cooking methods like blending sauces and slow cooking meats. Some of these recipes might sound weird to us now, like the chicken blended with almonds and rice, but others, like their version of mac and cheese, would fit right in today. The relationship between the church and royal courts shaped medieval cooking in surprising ways. During religious fasts, when meat was forbidden, royal chefs had to get creative with spices to make fish and vegetables taste amazing. The church controlled many spice trade routes through monasteries, giving them power over which spices reached royal kitchens. Kings would often curry favor with the Pope by sending rare spices as gifts. Some spice combinations became linked to religious ceremonies, like using frankincense and myrrh in both church rituals and royal feast dishes. Monks working in royal kitchens brought their knowledge of herb growing and spice blending, creating new flavor combinations that spread across Europe. The church's calendar of feast days and fasting periods forced royal chefs to develop two distinct cooking styles, one for regular days and another for religious observations. Ever wonder why we still use some cooking tricks from hundreds of years ago? Many of our favorite cooking methods started in medieval royal kitchens. Take roasting meat on a rack. That came from royal chefs who wanted to serve perfectly cooked meat to their kings. The practice of using herbs like rosemary and thyme, that started with royal gardeners growing special seasonings. Even the way we plate food in courses comes from medieval royal feasts. Modern restaurants still use the same basic kitchen organization that medieval royal kitchens developed, with different stations for different types of food. And those fancy sauces French cuisine is famous for. They evolved from medieval royal sauce recipes designed to impress important guests. Many desserts we love today, like fruit preserves and pastries, were first created to satisfy royal sweet tooths. Thanks for joining us on this tasty trip through royal history. From Henry's sugar craze to Charlemagne's farming tricks, these kings really shaped how we eat today. Hit like and subscribe for more fascinating food history, and share with your history-loving friends.